Like, it's one of those things, like, you can't hide. Wherever you go, you are the Doctor.
Like,
well, it's OK, because these guys didn't know what Doctor Who was. I was really safe in their company.
Yeah, you could hide backstage.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing, particularly in Britain. But weirdly, the show, you can't predict a demographic. It's all over the world, and so there isn't that thing where you go, oh, OK, so, you know, I'm walking around this place, I don't need my hat. And then the oddest kind of moment will happen and you go, oh, maybe they recognise me. But if you're me, you have a slight narcissism where you think everyone's recognising you. And that's such an embarrassing thing happened to me yesterday on the tube. So I've obviously got, like... Oh, anyway, right, basically what happened was... So I stood on Oxford Tube platform.
Yeah.
And I've always got... so, you know, like a glass keep cup, you know, like rather than going to a coffee shop and getting a new cup, I carry a glass one that I then wash and re-get my latte. Yeah. And so I got my empty cup and I was just stood down and stuff, and an elderly gentleman was walking towards me on the platform. And I was just like, oh, God, I just want to get on the tube. I hate getting recognised. And he started to walk towards me, but then he had his arm out, and his arm came into my space. And on the tube, on the platform, it's crowded, and it's a bit... I don't know, I just got the kind of like, oh, what are you doing? A bit aggressive, unnecessarily. And actually, what he was doing was he went, oh, sorry, I thought you wanted money. And he was trying... And he was going to put 10p in the keep cup.
That is the greatest story.
I know, but I was like, yeah. Oh, God, oh, man. Oh. And I got on the tube and I just, like, sat there. And I was like, someone make eye contact so I can tell this story. I was, like, waiting for someone. I was like, I've got a really good story.
Because, Dwayne, presumably, you can't hide. You can't put a hat on. You can't put a hat on that. I mean, but yet, I mean, I've seen you in a gym, like a public gym. So do you just get bothered all the time?
All the time. Yeah.
But how do you work out?
So anonymity's gone out the window.
But how do you work out in the gym if people are constantly coming up to you?
Just be nice, say hello, get them moving.
Get them moving. Lift them.
But fame is a funny thing, right? So that story for you, well, that will be like the constant anchoring reminder, right? Of like how cool fame is, but also never like...
I don't have the stress you have, though, because I think the thing is, if you are 5'6" and you've got a hat on and you're dressed like most of the time a teenage boy in a baseball cap. Headphones on, head down. I catch the bus and the subway every single day because I'm not in anyone's eye line like that. But I imagine there is something about if you can't.
You're 7 feet tall.
Taller.
So yeah.
But Kevin's had weird. You've had weird fan characters.
Well, what happens if you're 3'2"? Like, how does that? How do you?
What are you talking about?
So rude.
Wait, no, how do you deal with that?
5'2", you know that.
Hey, look up at everybody.
5'2".
I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry.
You are a proper nerd, aren't you?
I mean, when it comes to Harry Potter, I'm a massive, massive nerd.
We know that because you posted this picture. Is this your 12th or you're about 12 or 13 here? This is Margot Robbie. Look how uncool. Hardback, Harry Potter. Ooh,
I know you're a real
so
fan.
fancy.
So fancy. Do you know what's particularly pathetic about this picture? A couple of things, really. Number one...
I'll let you point them out.
Number one, it's my birthday. That's how I chose to spend my birthday.
Oh, yay!
What was in the cup?
Number two, I'm drinking tea. Number three, I'm wearing glasses even though I don't need glasses. I lied to the optometrist because I wanted to have glasses like Harry Potter.
Now, Daniel, I think you were you a Harry Potter fan or not?
I love Harry Potter, but I just didn't get round to reading the last one.
Okay, so...
What?
I had stuff to do, man. I was doing... I don't know what happened. I was just like, oh, I'll do it later, and then...
Are you kidding me? So you've read 1 to 6 and you haven't read the 7th?
Yeah, I don't know
Are
what
you
happened.
actually kidding?
Couldn't bear for it to end.
I'm like not going to be able to sleep tonight worrying about it.
Life is a game, you know what I mean? So I just like... It's just... You keep it on the edge, you know what I mean?
This is insane to me. Do you know another fun fact? My husband...
This is your thing.
This is fascinating.
This is your thing.
I can go on about this forever.
I'm so sorry I brought this up. I've no one else to blame. No, Margot, tell us.
Sorry, I'll stop hijacking the show after this.
No, go.
Because I'm not here to actually publicise Harry Potter. That's great. My husband is in the Harry Potter movies. I know. I was like, had you told me sooner, we would have been married very quickly. But he was an extra. He was like, when he was a little kid, he's like one of the Slytherin extras. And you know when Draco like pushes some kids out of the way to see Buckbeak in the third book?
Yeah.
He pushes my husband out of the way.
Yeah. Celebrity.
Yeah, I know.
Anna Kendrick, you've noticed something about British people and the way they speak, that we do a funny thing.
Well,
we think it's
no, I mean, I love every regional accent, every dialect. I'm a big fan.
You're not getting into that scone mess.
Please don't over my neck. But I like that because there's so many accents to such a small country, everybody sort of puts on different voices when they're doing little bits and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a thing where I was checking into a hotel and somebody came out and said, "Oh, do you need help with your bags?" And I thought they were doing a bit. So I went, "Oh, I've been traveling all day, I have no idea." And then they kept talking like that. So I had to like slowly transition out of it. And I know that that sounds like an exaggeration of their voice, but then I was back in the country several years later and they were on TV on Gogglebox because it was Steph and Dom from Gogglebox.
Is that
amazing? So they actually talk like that.
That is hilarious. I never knew that was a real hotel bed and breakfast thing.
Yeah.
But you stayed there.
I stayed there.
Yeah.
And accidentally made fun of them to their face.
Ayawadi has written a book. Yes. Wow. Thank you. Loving the books.
Wow. And if you all look under your seat, there's nothing there.
Now, it's called Ayawadi on Top. And
yes.
Before we talk about it, I'm going to say, because it's true, it is a really funny book. I say that because it may not be initially apparent when you start talking about what it's about.
Yes. Thank you for preempting my poor salesmanship. Because I tend to put people off anything that's to do with me. So, yeah, well, you're very kind to say that.
It is very funny, but now you need to tell people what it's about.
OK, and let me do some damage now. So, to say, it is about a Gwyneth Paltrow film called View from the Top, in which she plays a stewardess.
This is the poster.
This is the poster.
Have you all seen that film?
Have you seen this film?
Is it true?
I saw it. No, it's a real film. I saw it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a real film.
I haven't seen it.
Well, buckle up.
Do I need to see it?
Literally.
to read it?
Literally. You do not need to... If you've seen any film, you have seen this film.
Oh, okay.
It is very similar to all films. Gwyneth Paltrow plays a blue-collar worker. I don't know what research she did. Maybe she went into Whole Foods once. And she dreams of becoming an air stewardess. She becomes one. That's the film. But here's the dilemma. Can she be an air stewardess and maintain a loving relationship with Mark Ruffalo?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh.
No. The demands of being an air stewardess are too onerous.
Mark Ruffalo?
She's got to hand out salty nuts. There are little blowy things she's got to demonstrate. It's a nightmare. So they break up for a while. What should she do? You're literally the opposite of on the edge of your seat. You're so far. You're like this. Stop telling me the story. Stop it. She manages to reconcile with Mark Ruffalo.
Oh.
Happy ending?
Despite the salty notes.
No. The salty nuts are an attraction. And then at the end, it is a huge gun battle.
What?
No, it's not.
But this
she
is,
bends down and kisses him.
But this is essentially a sort of academic reading of it, as if it's a classic.
Yes, I saw this film with my wife. That's not a joke. I chose to marry me. That is possible that someone would choose that. I saw this film with my wife, and I was so haunted by this film that it's taken me 3 years to exercise it from my system. And I've gone through the book in forensic detail, explaining why it's so important, and I've interwoven it with things from my life. It really is so important to give this film the respect it deserves. Because people haven't seen it, people aren't discussing it. Can you believe this is the first book about this film? The first one.
It's an atrocity.
People aren't taking it seriously, Graham.
It's a whole book.
Does Gwyneth know about it?
Does Gwyneth know about this?
Yeah.
She's not emailed me as yet. But I don't know. She may be, you know, in the middle of a cleanse. We don't know.
Very good. Look at you now, Sir Patrick Stewart. And you don't really use the Sir much, do you? Or should I... Sorry, should I have been calling you... No, I shouldn't. Am I supposed to...
No.
OK. But
No.
do you...
I take my lead from Sir Ian, whom we've both shared some time with.
Yes.
And he is so phlegmatic about all of that. And I just, you know, it's a great honour, but it's not something that I need to press.
When you bump into another Sir when you're out and about, do you call each other Sir? Well, you must roll in Sir circles.
Okay.
Circles.
Sir circles.
I just thought of it.
Yeah.
This minute.
Can I be the ignorant American and ask, so how do you become a Sir?
Well,
Yeah, Patrick, how?
I don't...
Well, you know, it's a case of... No. I got mine on the Queen's birthday honours. But you have reminded me that I did have a Sir encounter only a few weeks ago in Los Angeles. A rather fancy, in fact, extremely fancy restaurant.
Well, tell them what it is, because they'll know.
It was the Tower Bar.
Sunset
You
Tower?
see? No.
Yeah.
These guys are cool. I'm not cool.
No, say it again. Let's go back.
The Tower Bar.
Oh, man, the Tower Bar!
What?
Damn! You got it. I can't even get in there. Go on.
Keep going. You keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Well,
No, the Tower Bar is the spot.
I got a feeling this isn't going to work out quite the way I imagined. So four of us were seated at a table. About 15 minutes later, into the restaurant walks Sir Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Good.
Now, Paul and I have a very slender relationship, but it's lasted decades.
Okay.
I first encountered him in 1964.
No.
When his girlfriend, Jane Asher, then had told him that I loved Aston Martins. I was driving a battered old Ford, but Aston Martins were my dream car. She told him this. And one night, we knew he was seeing the show. There was a knock on my door. And I said, yeah, come in. I'm there in my underwear. You know, like...
As usual.
Well, I always...
You greet people normally.
I hang around like that, just in the hope. And,
Come in, I'm in my pants.
yes. I'm ready for you. I said, come in, and the door opened, and standing there was Paul McCartney, who I had never met before, and this was 1964. Wow. And he said, Jane says that you like Aston Martins. Here, drive this.
Wow.
And he tossed a bunch of keys over to me. Cool. And it was his.
Amazing.
Anyway, do you want to hear the restaurant?
Keep going. Keep going. We're in the fanciest restaurant in LA.
We're now in the Tower Bar.
Tower Bar? Go on.
It's a legend.
I am feeling less and less good about this.
Keep going. Keep going. You're in there. So Paul McCartney he's come in. You've known him since the 60s.
And he sees me and comes over, and I stand up and say hi, and we have a big hug in the restaurant, and I'm very much aware that there's all the tables are full and this kind of thing. And we talk for 5 or 6 minutes, and he goes and sits down. 5 minutes go by, and into the restaurant walks Sir Ringo Starr. I swear to you, I'm not making this up.
Were they together?
Yeah.
They were...
They were at the same table.
Oh, they were at the same table?
Yes. Well, we at the Tower Bar.
At the Tower Bar.
Oh, man, I am expecting so many free meals. And we finish early, and I get up to go, and Paul stands up to say goodbye, and we have a hug. And as we have a hug, he says into my ear, "Do you know Ringo?" And I said, "Yeah, of course. I've never met him, but he said, "Oh, boy, Ringo, come on, come over here." Hang on a minute, he said, "Sir Ringo, Sir Patrick, Sir Paul. Hey, we've got the Knights of the Round Table."
You got there.
Yeah,
You got there.
yeah, man. Oh, you did it. You did it.
Good story. Well done.